What's up, everybody? This is Get to Know. I hope everybody that comes in today is having a great day. I hope that this Saturday finds you in good health and good spirits. I got a hell of a doozy for you guys today. Can you let me know if everything's okay? Can you hear me, see me fine? I hope. But all right. I can see my mug. Right. Anyway, I got a hell of a story. Can you turn that down just a little bit, baby? I got a hell of a news article to read for you today. But first, for anybody that hasn't been here before, I just want to welcome you to the channel. This is Get to Know. This is an awareness channel. Above all, this is a channel committed to making a change when it comes to pedophiles and these laws that our court systems hand down to these pedophiles. I think they're way too lax. And I can't wait to see and hear what your guys' opinions are about these two parasites that I'm going to bring you today. Please hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Right. Copy. Exit. Paste. Send. There you go, Outlaw. You can come up if you want. Or anybody else that's watching, as long as I know you are, because last time I brought somebody up that I didn't know, the jackass porn bombed me, which was all right, I guess. I mean, it made him have a good day, but it's people like that I have a problem with. Just, he's probably a pedophile himself, but please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up. It definitely helps. For sure, for sure.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Tucker, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hang on.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
There is a little delay in that.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
There is a little delay in that.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
There is a little delay in that.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
Ouch.
Okay, is that better?
Much better.
All right, now I can hear you. There we go. I told you I'm not very good with this technology crap, man. What's up, Jackie Cunningham, sweetheart? I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. I got a hell of a story to tell you guys. That's currently taking place in America. So, how you doing today, Outlaw?
Oh, not bad. Got some time off.
Hell yeah, that's always good. That's always good.
Hi, Jackie.
Anyway, so I don't know if you've heard about these two parasites that I put their names. I put their names up in the name of the Steffers, sweetheart. How are you? I'm glad you made it. Have you heard of this William Dell Zulock and Zachary Jacoby Zulock?
Not yet, but I'm gonna go look it up.
Oh boy, let me drop all the bombs on you right here. I'm doing pretty good, Steffers. I'm glad you're doing good as well. So William and Zachary Zulock are from Atlanta, Georgia. They're husbands and high-ranking activists in the LGBTQ community. And
oh, you gotta be kidding me!
oh no, it's gonna even get it. This is gonna make your stomachs turn, man. I'm telling you right now.
It already is.
Yep, this is straight up. This whole thing is going to be a whole trigger warning right here. I'm not even joking. So, according to the New York Post, article they released on January 20th of 2023, William Zulock, 33 years old, and husband Zachary Zulock, 35, of Atlanta, Georgia, were charged with molesting their two adopted sons, as well as sodomizing them and pimping them out to an Atlanta, Georgia pedophile ring. The high-ranking LGBTQ members are facing charges of molestation and using them to record child porn, as well as 17 RICO charges as well. After a month-long investigation by Town Hall alleged that William and Zachary Zulock used social media to prostitute their elementary-aged boys out. Zachary, a banker, and William, a government worker, were indicted in August 2022 on charges of, ready? Incest, aggravated sodomy, aggravated child molestation, felony sexual exploitation of children, and felony prostitution of a minor. The investigation reveals even more shocking and even more disturbing and disgusting abuse the boys went through at the hands of their parents. It was revealed for the first time that the dads were allegedly pimping out the boys, now ages 11 and 9, to two other men in the pedophile ring. Hunter Clay Lawless, 27, one of the participants that the boys were pimped out to, told investigators that Zachary invited him multiple times to take part in sexually abusing the boys. But Lawless claims he never physically Lawless claims he never had physical contact with either one of the boys. I don't believe that shit, but that's just me. Lawless also stated, here we go. This is it right here. Lawless also stated that over Snapchat, that Zachary sent him multiple messages, including one message that said, "I'm going to fuck my son tonight." And it said, plus he sent Lawless images of him sexually abusing his 11-year-old son. These two parasites were arrested on charges of soliciting an act of prostitution with the 11-year-old boy, according to the indictment. It is unknown at this time if Lawless and Armando Vizcarro Sanchez had any physical contact with the boys. The two parasites adopted the two children from a Christian special needs adoption agency. The boys were in 3rd and 4th grade when their adopted fathers were arrested last summer. Deputies responded to reports that a man was downloading child porn, raided the home in Longville when they found evidence that the two parasites were engaging in sexually abusive acts and video documenting the abuse, police said. During the raid, William was pulled from his house buck-ass naked. The government worker has admitted to forcing one of his sons to perform oral sexual acts on him with the intent to satisfy his own sexual desire. Now, my question is this, Outlaw. What do you think the proper penalty for these two fucking parasites should be?
Well, good point. From what I'm understanding and their social media, this could have been going on for about my estimate of between 4 to 7 years with many boys until they finally got caught. In this case, give them the lifetime sentence of their life, and possibly they can end up with the death penalty on this.
I
mean, it depends on how the jury looks at it, but
now another article I read, because a friend sent me this article, and he sent me a TikTok clip, and the first article I read said that the detectives found hundreds of VHS tapes and videos with these kids on it being sexually abused by them and being passed around to his pedo community.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this could have been going on for 4 to 7 years. We don't know how many boys they actually groomed and get them ready for.
That's right. What's up, Lee? Hey, Steppers, you want to come up? I dropped my link. If you want to come up, you can come up too.
But after reading, yeah, there could be numbers of 1,500 to 2,000 boys were involved over the 7-year time span.
Oh yeah, like the numbers. People don't get that when somebody gets arrested for these crimes, that the likelihood that this is the first time that they've ever been arrested for this crime.
Well, because some of their victims came forward finally and got them arrested.
Right, and a lot of times, like I was reading an article a couple months back, and it was this stepmom caught her stepson sexually assaulting her daughter, his stepsister. And when the detectives talked to him, he's 13 years old, and he admitted to already abusing over 30 children. Not 30 times, not sexually abusing somebody 30 times, abusing 30 separate children at the age of 13.
Well, that could have gone between 30. You can go back to his age 9, how it progressed. And how many children did he do in 30 different times in between ages of 9 to 13? You got to stop and think about it. What caused him to trigger him to do that?
Oh yeah. Like, I don't know how it is throughout the rest of the world and how they keep their statistics on shit. But here in the United States, a lot of people don't know that these statistics and these numbers, they're only from the ages of 12 and up to 18. They don't keep any statistics below the age of 12.
Well, I will admit, I mean, their statistics is way deeply wrong. They really don't know the accurate number.
Right.
of all this because the people have not really came forward and tell the truth. So the statistic numbers are just a suggested number of uh, of the facts of the actual cases, but it doesn't mean of all the
Yes.
other ones that have not come forward
Right.
because of the statistic numbers are just made up enough to let people know of what the actual real numbers are in the
Right.
U.S.
Right. Right. So Stephers asked, she said, LOL, yes, Aaron. What about Madonna? Have you heard this shit about Madonna? Like, I can't believe the magazine that published her shit. Here we go. What's up, Steffers? Let me add you here real quick. Bam.
I haven't heard anything about Madonna, but it could be all fabrication and all that until videos come to light to show any
Oh,
facts that.
it's on the cover of are you there, Steffers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize I was in the show.
All
I
right.
can't stay for very long. I like to stay
Queen
for a quick
Nessie, what's
second
up, sweetheart?
because I'm getting ready to take a shower. But you guys are talking about, that I can't. Well, I don't know how long I could stay talking about those guys. It's I
Yeah,
mean,
that's like
I have my own
went on.
story.
I could have went on for quite a bit longer, but I stopped myself. I couldn't even do
Yeah,
any more research on it.
like I'm about ready to
So
start crying. That's why I
yeah,
didn't touch that
yeah,
because I read the headline of it and I was like, I can't.
I
Like I
heard
said,
I heard other people bring it up, but they really just don't have the bravery to challenge it and to bring it
right, and
to
I and
light.
I'm and that is great that Aaron is doing that because I think a lot of people can't stomach to report that, and
I
it
don't.
should be reported, but that's really sad for the LGBTQ whatever Q
Yeah,
community
it is hard on the
because
community
Yeah,
now because they got people in there committing crimes on children.
and they
well
didn't.
look at what
And the
go ahead.
LGBTQ community they didn't come out exactly say how high up they were in the LGBTQ community, but they were.
Well, no, just in general, just the fact
Yeah.
that they're
Oh
gay
yeah.
men.
Oh yeah.
Just the fact they're gay
Yeah.
men. And just like you got black police cops beating up to death a black man. I mean, it's what is going on. I just
Yeah,
watched that.
I heard that today too. I just find that out because there was a black guy got shot by a black
A black
and all that.
cop.
Yeah,
But a couple. I think there was two black cops, one Hispanic cop, and one Oriental cop. As a matter of fact, actually, no white cops
Wow.
involved in this time.
See, I didn't hear about that. I'm talking about that Tyree Nichols. That was,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
talking. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that police footage was just released.
Oh, that's
no,
horrible.
I
It's
haven't,
horrible.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I warn you guys if you do watch it.
My wife and I watched it yesterday. Sugar glider.
It's one of the hardest things I've ever seen.
It's literally one of the hardest things I've ever had to see myself.
Yeah, and then I seen somebody had spray painted on a wall or a banner or something that he summoned every mother when he yelled for his own mother. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
So anyway, to
that's
Madonna. That's what I was jumping on here to.
right now.
So
What
that
magazine was it?
okay, I got my original article that I read because like you watched my live and I was talking about it with 3 Dot Dave. And I apologize to anybody that was on my live about that. I just really want to leave it where everybody's open ended and everybody can have an opinion. I really don't like it when everybody fights and attacks each other. And I
Yeah,
don't
me
know what
neither.
I'm gonna do about that. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But you know, I do believe there's something going on in the entertainment industry. Whether 3 Dot Dave believes it or not, that's on him.
Oh, trust
But
me, there is, but a lot of people
there
don't want to expose it.
well, right, because it's unfathomable. It's unfathomable. Like I remember when I first started researching all this crazy stuff, I just I couldn't grasp it because like it's out of this world. But the thing is about Madonna is, so I watched Sloane's video first, and he's pretty. I've always found him to be pretty honest.
Right.
And but then I wanted, because I knew I was going to talk about it, I wanted to make sure that there was
All right,
more
what's up,
facts.
Tony Hilliker?
That there was more facts on that. And so I got an article from the source, and there's a bunch of other articles too, but that was the first article that came up. But I'm sure today there's a lot more. And what it is, it's not America going after Madonna. It's Malawi and their government, and there's like some little black children association thing that's trying to protect those kids that come out of third world countries. It's that group too, and it's like EMF or something. Not EMF, but it has some weird acronym like that. And so it's more them, and it's really bad. Like it goes into like Madonna had wrote a book, and I remember because my neighbor when I was like 15 had this book, and I didn't ever read it, but I just thought it was weird. Madonna's book called Sex, and I think it's like a book of all of her experiences. Well, one of her experiences, she explains about how she was with an underage boy, and I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like that was published in 1994 or seven. I don't remember which one.
94.
But it wasn't okay. You mean to tell me this woman wrote that in there and everybody overlooked that?
Yep.
I mean, are you kidding me? And then, so I guess also like she's been adopting these children, right? And so when she adopted them, she had gave these families false promises. And like this one man said, just this very rich, wealthy white woman came and said she's going to give my children an education and but they'll be able to come back and they're going to, blah, blah, blah. And then a grandmother, all she wanted to do was see her child or see her granddaughter one more time. She was on her deathbed and begged Madonna. And Madonna's like legal team said, you have absolutely no right to this child. Because what she did was she manipulated them to sign the paperwork.
Right.
And gave them false promises. So, but they're worried that she's doing exactly the same thing as those gay men with her children. And social experiments, which I thought was kind of, I don't understand where that's coming from, but
yeah. Did you see her cover on Vanity Fair actually?
no.
No.
All
And I don't understand how 3 Dot Dave just kind of don't think that it might be going on at least, when
here,
you
I'm
got
gonna send it to you on
Balenciaga.
I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger right now, Steph.
Okay. There's Balenciaga or whatever you want to say it right.
Now see, now I don't know if it's that he just don't believe it or he refuses to accept it. Now, because a lot of people can't accept the fact that these people in high positions of power and these idols and these people that our kids look up to are probably the biggest parasites of them all.
And I get that because like my dad was a Vietnam vet and he was in the military.
Mine too. So your dad, I said thanks for your service.
Oh, right on. Thank you. And well, my dad's passed away, but I'm sure he heard you. But so, with him, I remember I was telling him all about like Monsanto. Like this is like 10, 15 years ago, maybe longer actually. I was telling him about Monsanto. I was telling him about all this weird corruption because that was like right around the time I was looking into like the entertainment industry, et cetera, et cetera. And I would tell him these things. And he, he blew me off about it at first. And another thing is we're Catholic, where I was born Catholic. And, I would show him like a Catholic Bible and I would show him a regular Bible. And I'd be like, Dad, the Catholics took out a commandment and split one into two. God said we were allowed to do that, And so I would blow his mind all the time. But my mom had called me once and she was like, Stephanie, you cannot continue to tell your dad these things anymore. She's like, he fought for our country. He believed in his government. He believed in America. And you're showing him that everything he fought for and everything he believed in isn't real.
Yep. My dad's the
And she
same
was
way.
like, "He's too old." She was like, "He's too old to deal with that." And
Yeah.
so,
The thing about it is, Steffers, when you go into the military, they train you as a war weapon. Okay. And when they do that, they lose a lot of sight of the civil liberties of life. And they lose
Mhm.
all the remember of what they have gone through when they put themselves in the war. Okay.
right.
And when they get out, they're like so dramatized of what people have done to life. And it's just like, what can I do?
And yeah, that was my dad. I mean, that was my dad. He wanted to save the world, and he
Yep.
wouldn't have answers, you know. And but I remember that was a really profound moment for me when my mom had called me and told me that, because you know I just thought my dad can handle anything, but I understood it, that he couldn't handle losing faith in his country. It's like losing faith in Jesus, you know,
Yep.
in his soldier mind, you know. I mean, he was in Vietnam and he had to deal with all the backlash of that, you know. And so I don't know. And I think that the reason why I brought that up is I think that is very similar to like these guys and Madonna and all that. Like,
Well, just look at Corey Feldman's story. Whether you believe his story or not, like I don't care who it is. If they're claiming that they had been sexually abused by somebody, I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Until it's proven to me
just give it to him, please. I'm sorry.
until it's proven to me that they're lying, then I have to believe them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
look at Corey Heyman. Like
Oh my
he
God.
legitimately killed himself because of the sexual abuse he received in Hollywood.
Right.
Like I'm not famous by any means necessary, but I attempted suicide 4 times from the time I was 9 to the time I was 16.
I don't know
You
if you've watched
you
my.
name you named it. The Hollywood elites and actors and all that. That yeah, behind the
Yeah.
scenes, a lot of these kids do get groomed in a way and get brainwashed, and yeah, they do get sexually
Absolutely.
abused.
Yeah.
And they probably think it's normal, and that's what's
Yeah.
even sad. It's more sad.
I
You
mean,
know.
I know for me, like my sexual abuse started out so young that for the first few years, like the first time it happened, I really wasn't I really didn't really get it. But
Right.
after the second, third, fourth, 15th, 25th time, you know what I mean? It was like, it just became like a normal thing, like,
But you knew it was wrong because you had that gut. You had that
yeah,
gut thing going on.
yes. But
You
I
know?
was too young to understand exactly how
Right.
fucked up it was, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I get you on that because the same.
Yeah.
The youngest. You know, I mean, I've it's happened to me a handful of times, and you know, the youngest I
Because
was 7.
I will help you out on that, because there's a lot of parents back in the time, like me and you, Steffers, and all that, growing back up in the 60s to the 70s, that a lot of parents didn't really want to teach sex ed, and they didn't think it was proper to even teach it yet
Right.
until at
My
the right
parents didn't
age.
talk to me about it. You know,
See,
it
like,
is an adult thing.
right.
Something
Like my
adults do.
parents, I remember the day that I came out and I told my parents that I had been sexually abused. I was 17 years old when I first
I
told
was
them.
15.
And it about killed him. Like,
Yep.
it about killed him. My dad got up off his chair, walked in his bedroom, loaded up his couple of guns, and him and my mom were leaving. I was like, you guys can't do this shit. Like, I'm already struggling hard enough. Like, I don't need you guys to
Right.
go shoot this.
Going to
someone.
prison.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, my parents blame themselves so much
My dad and mom did too.
for the abuse. And finally it was Sweet Rockin' Robin, how are you? It was last summer that I finally got to sit down with my parents, and I was like, look, because that's when I first started my Get to Know channel and shit, and they asked me about it and whatnot, and I was telling them about it, and my mom looks at me, and she goes, she's like, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. She's like, I wish I would have been able to protect you more.
My mom said the same thing.
You know what I mean? And I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't mean to sound gross, but you're not the one that put your penis in my face. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you have nothing to apologize for. You guys I don't remember one time my parents talking to me about any kind of sexual abuse or sexual
I don't
abuse
either.
that matter. And that's where I'm totally different from where my parents were, because
Absolutely.
I started talking to my kid. I started talking to my son when he was like 3 years old about no swears and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
there's all kinds of way to teach your kids about what's okay and what's not okay. And like, if and I don't want to say this in a fucked up way, because I don't want my parents to take it a fucked up way. But if my parents would have had that knowledge to convey it to me in that manner, and not keep it, not have it so hush hush, because my mom's also a survivor of sexual abuse.
So is mine.
You know, so I mean, like, I will never in my life hold any kind of animosity, hate, resentment towards my parents whatsoever.
No.
What happened to
No.
me? The only person I hold any kind of fucking responsibility to that to is the motherfucker that molested me. But I went a couple of steps above what my parents did, and my wife and I are both survivors of sexual abuse.
You know, 1 of 5, or what is it? 3 of 5. I'm sorry.
It's more than that. I don't care what
It is.
says.
Right. I'm going by just
right. Right.
But yeah, it is more.
Just a couple months ago, last spring, when school started, there was my wife, myself, my daughter, one of my daughter's friends, and her mom, and my daughter's friend's mom, standing out on my porch, smoking a cigarette, and we're all talking. And she asked me about my channel, and I was telling her what it was about, and she's like, "Well, there's 2 of us here," and I said, "Well, there's 4 of us here. 4 out of the 5 of us standing on my porch at that time were all victims and survivors of sexual abuse as a child."
And I also think too that it can go to, there's a lot more in smaller rural areas. I don't know if that makes
yes,
but
not too much in the like your little small country towns that got populated maybe 25 to 40 people. You maybe find 1 or maybe 3 cases out of that whole entire area.
Right.
But you got to look at the bigger towns of the 200 on up, the population where it's a little heavier.
Me. Yep, and that's it. Like, I remember being outside one time with a group of people, and this guy, like, he's a good friend of mine. He was like, "Have you been molested?" And I was like, "What kind of question is that out of nowhere, you know?" And he was like, he apologized to me. He was like, "I'm sorry," you know. He goes, "But I'm standing out here, and you know, literally every single person out here, something's happened to." And
you know what? That's one of my driving forces behind my channel. You know, is if we don't do something and make drastic fucking changes now, pretty soon it will be that every person that walks the streets in this country are going to be sexually abused at one point in time in their life. And I don't care what anybody says. There's already so many of us out there that are survivors of sexual abuse that it's only a matter of time before, if something doesn't happen to make it stop and make it change. I know that it's not ever going to stop because
no, it never will. It's been going on since the beginning of life.
Right.
But I'll tell you right now, if somebody touches my kids, my old man will go to prison.
I can't say what I would do, because I'd feed somebody to their own fucking dog. You know what I mean?
He can't even entertain that thought. Like, he won't even. He just instantly. I'll kill him.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't be no just one double tap to the back of the head or anything. It'd be long and drug out. For sure.
I wouldn't even want to know how he would do it. He'll get creative about it. So.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, but the thing of it is, you don't really want to get too dramatic and to go to jail yourself. I mean, you got to handle it.
You get creative about if somebody ever came after your girl.
This is how it would pan out at the very
kill
beginning. If one of my kids came to me and told me that they were sexually abused, I'd call the police and I'd say, "This is who I am. This is who you're after. This is what they did.
You either get them before I do."
Mark, get set, go.
You got a good point. Okay, hold on. You guys made a very, very good point. Okay, let's take your daughter for example. Okay, if she did, all right, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take them to the hospital and get her tested and get everything that, like, from DNA, if there's anything traceable.
Oh,
get that done.
See now, from I didn't mean to cut you off out loud, but from my wife's experience, my wife's stepdad abused her and 5 of her friends. Okay, they all came out and took him to court. He literally admitted to the prosecuting attorney to have
And he beat the charge.
abused all. He walked out of the fucking courtroom because not one of the girls kept a diary or dates or dirty clothing with DNA on them or any of that shit.
See that? Yeah, right there. That right there. Yeah.
You know,
My sister was raped, and she didn't report it for 6 months. And when she finally reported it, the cop told her, "Well, it's his word against yours, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you have no evidence of what happened, and it's gonna be a hard fight."
Yeah, it's going to be a hard fight because you don't have no standing evidence, no DNA, no medical records from being penetrated and all that. So,
but her complete meltdown of life was proof enough, I believe.
Yeah,
it's
beaten mentally in the brain, but the thing of it is, nobody took action to get traces and facts and the evidence to prove it.
They didn't want to do it. That's how I look at it. They didn't want to do it. It would have been too hard for those police.
Well, just like, for example, when I was between 9 and 13, I had some heart pain and all that. I went to my mom and dad and to take me to the hospital because of it. Oh no, they just told me I'm fine. It's just probably a heart muscle or anything like that. So they ignored it. So I could have ended up having a heart attack at 13 and could have died.
Oh my
because
God.
they couldn't take me into the hospital to get checked out.
Oh my God, that's scary as shit.
Yeah, but I'm still walking, but I still have chest pains, and sometimes I do have a heart murmur, and it does have problems. So I got to be very careful what I do in life.
But you got to look at now, though.
Hang on 1 second. No, Lika, 4 out of 5 of us were all abused out of that one group. Out of my daughter, my daughter's friend, my daughter's mom, my wife, and myself. 4 out of the 5 of us were all sexually abused as children. And my daughter's the only one that wasn't.
Right. And that, oh God.
And like people don't realize, like I got statistics and numbers for days on this kind of shit. Like people don't realize, like when somebody gets a divorce from their husband or their wife and they bring in whether it's a male or female, or they have stepchildren, you put your kids at a 9% higher risk and sexually assaulted when you bring in a step parent or a stepchild.
Yep, I watched Dr.
A 99% chance. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what Dr. Phil says, and that's the statistics point to. 99% greater chance that your children are going to get sexually abused if you bring a step parent or a stepchild into the scene.
And that is so sad because I am a divorcee, and so is my old man, and that it's I mean it's scary. It is very scary.
See,
because now these other people are introduced to our children that we
you're,
don't even know.
Yeah. Sorry. See, you're right, Steffers. You're absolutely right, guys. Okay. Even as an advocate for these children, I don't come out and to say my real stories or anything like that because I have more knowledge, and a lot of people are so jealous of what I have known and have started, because I did have 2 lease trucks that underneath my company. I was starting to try to build a 5-truck company, and I knew everything how to manage it. But the thing of it is, I had a gold digger that came in and tried to take everything away from me, and I had to sell everything. But the thing of it is, I go around for 32 years. I helped a lot of children out here were abused, because a lot of them, there's not a lot of them that don't want to come up and admit to it. But
especially boys.
I've had boys and girls even come up out of the blue to me and ask for help. How can they turn themselves around because of it? Because their parents wouldn't listen, wouldn't help them. Even some of the
You
law
know,
would
and
just
why is
turn around.
that? You know, why is that? Is it parents that don't want to face it? Or, you
Yeah,
know, luckily my parents listened, but now, and like Aaron's parents, my parents blame
Yeah.
themselves.
Unlike my wife's mom, who literally, when the detectives came to arrest her stepdad, the first thing when my wife's mom answered the door and my wife came walking up to the door, her mom turned around and looked at her, and guess what her mom said?
What?
How could you do this to me?
I believe it. I believe it. I've heard that story so many times
And
in
then
so
she
many different
sat there with
scenarios.
her arm around her, then she sat there with her arm around him in the courtroom the whole time. And then on my wife's 16th birthday, he sent my wife a 16-page letter about how telling my wife how she was just a horrible piece of trash
Ugh,
and she ruined her life. And oh yeah,
that's terrible. That is terrible.
yeah. It
And
can
you know what's
turn.
even weirder? I've had two friends in my lifetime that their fathers, their biological fathers, that yeah. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't fathom that. My dad was a great, awesome man. You
yeah.
know, even
Parents
I mean,
can
he had his
turn on you
issues.
at 180 degrees and turn around and blame kids for doing it. I mean, yeah, they can make self blame and
Even
make it
weirder,
hard.
those girls still
yep.
talk to their dads to
Isn't
this
that
day.
crazy? I don't know how. I don't know how.
I know. I don't get
I
it
don't.
either.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't.
But I think that's a whole other realm.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's a whole
yeah.
other realm. What a mind fucker, you know?
Right. That's a fucking realm. That's a realm of abuse that I don't ever. I'm glad I will never have to
And
experience. You
yeah,
know,
exactly,
my heart goes
exactly.
Because
out to anybody who has had to go
But
through
I'll
that.
end.
Really.
I'm gonna have to jump off here, but I'll end on this. I forgave my molester. I was 15 years old, and I was tired of feeling the way I did. I suffered with a lot of self-injury and different stuff, and I remember I ran out, like I had injured myself, and I ran out into a field, and I ran and I ran and I ran until I ended up into this clearing. And I don't know, I don't know. I just went down to my knees and yelled out into like the sky, and I was just like, I forgive you, blah 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 blah. And then I was instantly angry because I knew what I did, but I knew I couldn't take it back either. And to be honest with you, I struggled with the forgiveness,
I
but
still do.
it was great though, because when the guy died, my mom looked at me and said, I hope he's burning in hell. And I was like, you know, honestly, I really hope he's not. I really hope that God found forgiveness and grace, because that's what God's supposed to do. I was like, Mom, how are we ever going to be forgiven for our worst sin if we can't forgive somebody for theirs? I said, and it's not
Exactly.
my problem. I said, it's his problem, because something way worse had to happen to that man to do that to me. That he had to live with that. I can eventually find the answers, get over it, and whatever, but he had to live with that action. So, and then when he did die, I was content with it because I did forgive him. So, I mean, that's my piece of advice. If you can find forgiveness in that, more power to you, because you're actually more free than what you realize.
that is true, correct, Steffers. You left an open piece of mind that good
Yep.
good thing it's been relieved and the pressure and the burden that was left behind.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
And I didn't carry that with me throughout my life because it wasn't my problem. It wasn't my
yep.
problem anymore. I
That's
released that
that's
problem.
where I'm at myself. That's where I'm at myself. I'm trying to learn how to. If I can
You
get
just got to go out into a field, Aaron,
if I
and
can get
forgive.
over if I can. What's that?
You just got to go run out into a field and forgive.
Yep.
I'm working
I
on it.
mean, you just
I'm
got to
working.
have that. You'll get that moment. I don't know if you'll run to a field, but you'll get
Yeah,
that
my ass
moment.
don't run very fast anywhere.
Actually, you're absolutely correct. I mean, here's the thing that I have learned from the native Indians, the true native Indians. They'll really find your heart and soul. Don't don't hurt to go out and lose yourself in a timber or in actually an open field, and listen to Mother Nature and open your mind and soul up and release the hate and
Yep.
the harmful stuff in life, and to rebuild yourself in life. Okay, I do that once in a while when I get frustrated and all that. I'll go out there, run in the middle of the woods just to lose myself, to run with
Exactly.
nature, and to be with
Exactly.
nature and listen to nature's music,
Or just sit there. Just
and
sit.
just sit there and open your heart and mind of saying, why is this world? Just don't let the burden sit on your shoulders. Release it
Right.
to
Exactly.
nature.
Because you can release all these burdens, all these hard ups, not just with molestation and whatever. If you can release and forgive all your past and all your issues, man, you are so much more free. You're only a prisoner to yourself when you don't get over whatever's going on and you don't forgive.
That's right.
You don't have to go look at somebody and say, "Oh, I forgive you." No, I didn't go run to that guy and say, "Hey, I forgive you for what you did to me." He has no idea, but I knew I did. So, and so did
Yeah.
Jesus. So that's what
Yeah.
matters. But I
Right.
gotta go.
All
But
right. Thanks for coming on,
I'll be
Zachary.
listening. Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem. See ya.
Okay. So the problem I'm having with the forgiveness part is I was able. What's up, Catlin? How are you, sweetheart? I was able to. I was able to confront my abuser when I was 17, and it worked for me for a while. His response to me, but it's not working for me anymore, and it hasn't for quite some time. But I asked him. I asked him. I asked him why he abused me, why he did the shit he did to me, and of course he denied it at first, which of course everybody's going to.
Yeah.
And um, so I finally got him to admit to messing around with me a little bit, and I asked him again. I was like, why did you do that shit to me? And Lika, if you think what my wife's mom said to her was fucked up, check this one out. My abuser literally told me that he never did anything to me that I didn't want him to do. Now, I don't know what kind of sexual favors a 5-year-old kid, a 6-year-old kid, an 8-year-old kid, a 9-year-old kid is asking a 40-year-old man for. But I guarantee you, I wasn't asking anybody for anything.
No.
But his answer worked for me for the time because he took accountability. He literally admitted to fucking with me, and that worked for the longest time. It worked for me for the longest time. Not so much anymore. And this parasite lives just a half a mile away from me right now. He's gone to prison one time for his crimes, and his crimes go all the way back to the 60s. And he's gone to prison one time. I guarantee you that the time he went to prison for, and for me, I'm guarantee you we're not the only 2 victims he's had. If he's only had 1 victim a year over the last 60 years, that's still 60 innocent children. And I guarantee you the numbers are way higher than that.
If not more, yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you they're in the hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah, if he was molested, take this for example. If he was molested when he was younger by a cousin or somebody, a family member or a friend at school, and this is what he caught and learned, yeah, it could have been many through the years.
Yeah. And this parasite was my dad's cousin and best friend, man.
Yep.
And the day I told my dad and my mom what happened and who it was, it literally fucked my dad up, man.
It does, because he gets that information. It's like, I thought I trusted you as a true friend, and now look at him. It's like, you're a piece of garbage.
Yep. Like the dude's lucky my dad didn't go all fucking, Vietnam style on his ass.
True.
But it's just horrible, and it's only getting worse out there, and that's
It
why
is.
that's why I created this channel, to create awareness. I know that there's a lot more men out there that are too embarrassed to come forward, but the whole thing about it is if you receive this message and you watch this live stream on a replay, and you're a man and you've been sexually abused, you don't need to feel embarrassed. You're welcome here. This community here, this Get to Know community, every one of us in this community, even though not all of us have been sexually abused, every one of us in this community will support you and make you feel comfortable here. And I give you my words on that. I give you my
Well,
words.
not only that, you're right. I mean, as me with the stuff that I do, some of the stuff that I go out there and be part of, and I turned my life around back when I was 21, and something just clicked, and I was just more brainwashed and traumatized by what they put on TV and everything.
Right.
So I had to take and get away from it and to relearn the whole entire thing from life, from ground on up. Also took and learned how these kids are being hurt because of the stuff that I used to help in CPS, family services, when I was growing up too.
Right.
So yeah, it's just dumbfounding of how stuff is hurting kids silently without our knowledge.
Yep. Like what really pisses me off. Let me get you guys' view on this. Like, okay, let's say somebody gets arrested, they go to court for sexual abuse of a child. Okay. And the prosecuting attorney goes to the defense attorney and says, "Okay, we got all these charges against your defendant, and if your client pleads guilty to this charge and this charge, then we'll drop this charge and this charge and this charge, and they won't have to register as a sex offender." Now, one where I think that's fucked up is once you sexually abuse somebody, you are a sexual abuser for the rest of your life.
Yep.
No piece of paper, no prosecuting attorney, no judge has a right to say whether you are or not. You are because you are. Now,
or even that, or put a plea deal on there. We'll wipe that out and all that.
That's where I was just getting to, Outlaw. That's where I was just getting to. Now, unfortunately, my abuser I never got to take my abuser to court and whatnot. But all too often, you see all these prosecuting attorneys, all these cases go to these criminals, to these parasites, and give them these plea bargains. All I can say is I was never given a fucking plea deal by the person who molested me. I don't get a register on a special network as a sexually abused victim for 10 years, and then after 10 years is up, I'm no longer a sexually abused victim. I'll be a sexual abused victim for the rest of my life. Not even God himself can take that away from me. So for a prosecuting attorney to go to these parasites and make these fucking deals with them, it's bullshit. It's got to stop. I think there should be mandatory minimum sentences of 20 to 30 to 40 years. I don't give a shit. Just make it 20, 30, 40 years.
Mandatory, I would make it mandatory, the minimum 30 all the way up to life.
All the way up to execution. Yeah, in some cases, yeah. Absolutely. Mandatory minimum sentences. Once you commit a sex crime, there ain't no tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 on the sex offender registry. You're a sex offender. You're on the registry for the rest of your life, because after all, I will be a sexually abused victim for the rest of my life. So
yeah, you're a victim of life. So yeah, that's going to be the rest of your life until you go 6 foot under.
Exactly. So the person that abused me and every other one of these fucking parasites should have to. They shouldn't get no fucking deals. I don't think they should. I don't give a shit if they have a hard time finding a job. I don't give a shit if they have a hard time finding a place to fucking live. I don't give a shit if they fucking struggle every single day of their life, because every single day of my life, I struggle with shit because of what happened to me. They didn't have no remorse. He didn't have no remorse for me when he was doing what he did to me. He didn't think about what was going to happen to me in my future because of his actions. So why should I care about them? I don't. The only thing I care about is they're locked up, away from children, and no longer doing what they fucking did to get there in the first place. That's all I care about. I don't care if they lose their family. I don't care if they lose fucking everything. I don't.
Sometimes in a position they don't lose their family. Some do.
Yeah.
Major of them do.
Yeah. You're right. You're right, Outlaw. You're right. You're right, Callan. We have to break the cycle. We love you too, Steffers.
I mean, that's the reason why I'm out here doing that. I mean, I'm a solo man, single, and I see a lot of kids that get hurt, and it falls through the system of CPS and all that. And that's the reason why we're out here trying to rebuild it and help them rebuild their life and to get them through, to pull through, to actually get them turned around, to have fun in life and to rebuild it and be a mentor for them.
Yeah. I just want to say, not a lot of, I don't know if a lot of people know what you do, Outlaw, or whatever, but I do. And I want to let you know that you're a hero to me. You're a hero to me. What you do is absolutely amazing. And without you in this world, without you doing what you do, this world would be a lot more fucked up of a place. And
yeah.
I appreciate what you do, Outlaw, from the bottom of my heart. I really do, man.
Well, not only that, I'll put this real story out. I was at one stop at with the carnival, and I found this colored boy that I have no racist, nothing against him and or anything.
Right.
And he had a nice looking young lady for a girlfriend, and he turned around and took her phone and started looking through her phone and everything. And I walked up to him, and she was having a fit. And I turned around and told him, I said, you keep going where you're at, I can get you for digital theft and all that. And he turned around and looked at me. It's like, all I have to do is ask her if she wants to press charges. I can get an officer here to press charges. And it kind of woke the boy up and all that. And I said, just hand her phone back. She didn't ask you to go through her text messages and all that. And he finally turned around and threw the phone back to her in a meaningful way. And I turned around and told the young lady, I says, I'm here to help, but help you see things. He's a troublemaker, and try to find a right man to be in your life.
Right.
And to help you to be happy.
Right. Go out of your way to find that man that's gonna hold the door open for you.
And that's what I told her.
Find a man, yes.
And she walked away. I don't know if she dumped him or what, but that's up to her. But I helped give her a strong footing in life to see it and give her that path and that open door for her to walk through to see it.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. See, and I've been there too. My wife and I, we have some interesting friends, I guess you could say, and all too often, one of them's getting beat up by their boyfriend, or one of them's getting beat up by their girlfriend, or
that comes in the nature of boyfriend, girlfriend, and marriage. You are going to get a heated argument, and sometimes you'll throw things by accident. It's like, oops.
Right, yeah, that happens. I've actually never thrown anything, but anyway, we tell them, if a man's going to hit you and they turn around and apologize and say, "I'm sorry, I'll never do it again," you should already be out the door.
Yep.
The only time I think a man has the right to put his hands on a woman is if that woman's running at him with with double barrel shotguns pulling both fucking triggers at the same time. Other than that, move out of the way.
Yeah. Or either coming at you with a baseball bat. If they're getting ready to stand up and be stronger to hit you like a man, sure enough, you got the right to hit them and lay them out like a man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But you know, I mean, in most cases that's not the case, and I just don't. I mean, I've never been in an abusive relationship, and I've never been an abuser in a relationship, and I don't see how women my sister, one of my younger sisters, she put up with an abusive relationship for quite some time. And one of my aunts put up with an abusive relationship for 20 years. And I just didn't get why she always kept going back to him. Like this dude locked her in her car and lit her car on fire, just all kinds of shit. And I just couldn't understand I just don't understand how people can continually go back to that kind of shit. Like, I just don't get it, man. I really don't.
Well,
Man.
you left a good open door on that. There's a lot of women out there. Just say, for instance, like our grandma and grandpa's growing up in the 60s and 70s, and a lot of it was verbal abuse. And a lot of the ladies back then really didn't have a good footholding to get financially stable to where they could move out and
Right.
do something. So they were permanently locked in of the marriage degree, and went back then and say till death still us part. Now they took that out. I think it was in late '90s, early '20s, where they took that out. Now it gives them an open window that they are free in a way.
Yeah.
But back then, when they say death do us part, that means that it was a lock binding contract
Yeah.
that you had to stay to them to the death do your part.
Yeah, and you know, times have changed and shit. Like my aunt, she just got out of this abusive relationship like 12 years ago, and shit, she went through it all through the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s. You know, and I just never got it. Just she was always had a black eye, or you know, what I mean? I just never understood it, man. I don't know. And
Well, a lot of people,
she was an independent woman too. Like she didn't need my uncle around to take care of her. Like she had a really good job and shit for herself, but she just
yeah,
kept
but there's a
running back
lot,
to him.
yeah, but there's a lot of women that didn't. Okay.
Right. I don't know. I would just like to think that if I was in that position, that no matter what my situation, whether I had some place to go or not, like I've slept on the streets, I've slept in dumpsters. You know what I mean? My wife has slept in horse stalls and shit. You know, and
I've,
shit. So
I've been there many a time, slept out in the dumpsters, slept on the streets, slept in
yeah. I've eaten out of
timbers.
garbage cans, and you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been there, man. You know, and I would just think that that's what I would do. I would that kind of style to me would be better than be beaten, than be hit on and abused, whether it be mentally abused or physically abused, emotionally
Yeah.
abused, whatever the fuck. So
Yeah, especially when you're near a good steakhouse, and especially when they dump good steaks out there, only had a couple pieces out of it. Oh, well,
oh hell
you
yeah.
you got a good piece right there.
Oh yeah, I had a Domino's pizza and a Chinese food restaurant right next to each other, so it worked out pretty good for me for a while.
Yeah, I had the Outback Steakhouse, and I had
Hell
a
yeah.
couple others right around me, and it was like I had a couple Burger Kings. It was like, let's see, shit.
Yep.
I had like three big Whoppers that somebody screwed up on the order, threw it out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was like, wow.
Yep.
I had a
Well, I'm
big
glad they
piece.
screwed that order up.
Yeah, I'm glad they did too.
Yeah. People are like, oh, how could you do that? Well, obviously you ain't never been hungry. And a lot of these places that do that kind of shit, it's not like they mess with the food or anything. Like it's just a messed up order, and it's just wrapped. It hasn't even been unwrapped usually. You know what I mean? Fuck
Yeah,
all that shit, man.
yeah, it was never unwrapped and all that. They unwrapped it to see how they screwed the order up, and they wrap it back up and throw it away. It's like
Yep.
it
What are
was
you gonna?
untampered.
Yep. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Go that fourth day without eating any food, or eat that hamburger that somebody messed up on the order and threw away?
Oh,
I mean that fucking burger. I mean, I don't.
yeah, especially when you go by a donut shop. Oh
Oh
shit!
man. Oh
Loads
yeah.
of donuts.
Mhm. Yep. 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 For sure. I know how that goes, man. But all right, everybody. I'm gonna go take a nap for a little bit. Like I said, these lives, they drain me, man. They drain me. I go through so many different emotions on the inside and shit. But
Oh, we
you
all
know,
do, but the thing of it is that we just need to open our minds. I'm going to leave this on a good note to help build the mind strong, to build a strong mind and a heart and a strong back of not let it get to us, not let it get us mentally, physically, and emotionally drained of what's
Right.
going on out there, but help learn how to cope with it and the better fit in life so it don't attack us in a meaningful way.
Right. Absolutely. I agree, Outlaw. I agree, Outlaw. And that's what I'm doing. I'm learning. I'm not the best at this, but I'm doing the best I can for right now. And
Well, and that's the reason why you got the support like you do, like me and like a few others that's been there, but also can help others turn it around and see a positive side on that and help pull them through and to become a
exactly.
better person.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, everybody. I appreciate. I know I say this a lot, and I don't know if I can ever get all you guys to honestly realize how much you guys all mean to me. But your guys is each and every time I see one of you guys in my channel, in my chat. This is not my channel. This is our channel. This is our community. That's how I look at it. This is not my channel. This is our channel, and I appreciate all you guys being here. You guys, your guys' continuous support helps keep me going, helps keep my motivation going on those days that I'm really feeling like shit and I really don't want to do one, but I do it anyway. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. Remember, everybody, one
And
child is one too many, everybody.
yeah. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to rebuild my side and my community, and I am going to try to find the best communities to build back stronger and to help take down the evil. We need to start doing that out here on the YT.
Well, Outlaw Trucker, you can count Get2Know in, and you can count Aaron in 100%.
But other than that, I'll let you go ahead and sign off, and I'll catch up with you later.
All right, man. I appreciate it, Outlaw. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Connie Hilliker, Lika, Queen Nessie, I love you all. Catlin, Steffers, Outlaw Trucker, all of you guys, everybody that's been here today, I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate all of it. All of you guys. Who did I miss? Lika, Catlin, Sweet Rockin' Robin, Connie Hilliker. Beyond the Terror, thank you. Queen Nessie, all of you, just everybody, even the ones that come in and watch this later. I appreciate it. I got much love, much respect for every one of you guys. Remember, keep all children safe, no matter what it takes. Get2Know, thanks, enjoy your sweet sleep. I will, Connie Hilliker. I appreciate it. Peace, love. This is Get2Know. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, one child is one too many, everybody.